Hi guys, here's some tips from me for successful wallpapering with peel and stick wallpaper. Measure width of your wallpaper panels. Mine were 19 inches. Measure out in the middle of the wall the 19 inches, then use a laser level that hits that mark at that distance. Measure now from the top and then the bottom. Likely you'll find that your walls are not completely square and that the top or bottom are thinner than the middle. This lets you know how much overlap in your panel you'll need to leave at the corner. Before you ever pull back the sticky backside, tape that first panel up to make sure you're not short at the top or bottom when you're laying it down level. When I did mine, the first time I ended up being short at the top, so it helped me to understand how much overlap I would need at the top of the wall to stay level. I started again, and you can kind of see in this shot how at the top there's a bend where it doesn't totally fit the corner. For the love of all things DIY though, don't leave the tape up when you begin pulling back the sticky backside. I promise you, the tape will end up getting stuck on the panel and it'll just make things so much harder. I really like the seam glue and the easy hang spray. It made it so that if I needed to move the panel at all, for bubbles or lining up the seams, it came up easier than if it was just the regular sticky backing. I do want to add the disclaimer that I wasn't looking for renter friendly, as I own, so I'm not sure if that spray will make it harder to remove the wallpaper later. I had a pattern with the seam I had to absolutely perfectly match, so I found that if I started lining up my panel from the left, where the two seams met, I could then smooth out to the right. Once you're happy with the lined up seams, do go ahead and add some tape to add some support to the seams so they don't move as you work your way down the panel. I was using the yellow frog tape because it's gentle and wasn't going to pull or tear anything. I was using vinyl, but I think this would have been really important if I'd been using paper panels. I recommend rolling the panel to the halfway mark from the bottom so it's less heavy as you start at the top. I didn't have the panel getting all twisted with my ladder when I was at the ceiling because it was rolled up until I got down to that section of the panel. Go in sections, get the top exactly lined up, smoothed down, seams taped, then take off more of the backing, cutting with scissors as you go. Lay down the middle, get it perfect. Then unroll the bottom and take off the last bit of backing. If you take the whole backing off at once, you'll end up with the panel sticking to itself. With regards to the blade you use to cut off the overlaps at the top and bottom of your panel, using one that's really sharp will be important. I ended up switching out the blade every 2 panels. Run the blade with a straight edge to get really straight lines. I hope these tips helped you. Let me know.